exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500. This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit, your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
Hi, Ike Engelbaum. One of my sponsors is Cofix Nasal Spray. You can spray the inside of your nose and almost have the same benefits as a mask. In fact, it's been so well proven that it's now on the market in drugstores. Cofix RX. Spray it in the nose. 45 seconds later, you have up to 8 hours like a shield inside your nose. It's been scientifically proven. I'm really excited about it. I use it anytime I go out in a huge crowd. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. 888-489-8980. And welcome, and I assume after about 4 times of repetition, please write down 888-489-8980. While we're on the air, if you have a comment or question about what we are talking about, the on-the-air phone number is 248-557-3300. That's 248-557-3300 while we're on the air. But unfortunately, we're not always on the air. So that's why we have 888-489-8980. We break up the hour with Bright Side of Aging for the first half hour. And at a break of the hour, we discuss entrepreneurship. And I am so excited about the fact that, especially now, with Zoom capability, we can speak to entrepreneurs all over the world. If you indeed want to start your own business or build your own business, after having been doing this program for close to half a century, yes, last century, I pride myself on having made enough great contacts to help you in whatever you want to do for the rest of your life in terms of your professional career as your retiring years. And one of the great opportunities that I have is meeting exciting, dynamic, knowledgeable, motivated entrepreneur people who are on various ventures. And I am so pleased to have Burney Ashley of Great Lakes Mortgage Financial, who is a veteran mortgage banker with nearly 33 years of experience. So he's been around the block, maybe a few times. He's been helping thousands of borrowers close on their mortgage right here in Metro Detroit. Burney currently is focused on helping seniors achieve their dreams with a home equity conversion mortgage. It's also known as a reverse mortgage. He is a low-key guy that offers no pressure, and he actually is more of an educator than just trying to sell you something that you may not need. I personally have had the privilege of meeting with Burney, and he is a straight-laced guy. And as an added reason you may want to talk to him, he has a very talented wife who is could be right on Broadway. She's working on that. And Burney is the type of guy that you can ask any questions, and he is sincere in not giving you information that's not really pertinent to you. He just could be sort of regarded as a consultant as well. If you're a senior, by all means, you got to know more about Burney Ashley. And Burney is, as was mentioned, involved with reverse mortgages. And I'm so pleased that he's here and actually talk in shirt-sleeve English as to why, in fact, you should consider about a reverse mortgage. In fact, he's got 7 things you don't know about a home equity conversion mortgage. Is that right, Burney?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, most people are very confused about the reverse. There's so much misinformation traveling around. It's very confusing, and like I say, a lot of people are running around thinking it's something that's just absolutely not. Now, the first thing is the bank owns the house. I don't know how many times I've heard that, but for some reason, people are stuck on this idea that if they get a reverse, all of a sudden the lender is going to take charge of their home. And that's absolutely not true. The truth is, it's just like every other mortgage. You want to put a sale sign on it, sell it. You pay off your mortgage and move on. You or your heirs, whatever the case may be. But there is no ownership outside of yourself. You're on title. It's you. You have a mortgage like you would any other mortgage that you ever signed up for. One other thing that's kind of surprising is you can never own more than the value of your home. Now, most mortgages, if you actually end up in a deficit, they expect you to cough up the difference. But the HECM has a non-recourse option on it, which gets you off the hook. So if our market crashes and all of a sudden you get in a situation like we did with the mortgage meltdown, where your home is worth far less than you did when you originally mortgaged it, and you end up in a hole, that becomes HUD's problem. HUD is guaranteeing the loan, so any difference would be their problem. You're off the hook. Another thing that most people don't know, even realtors out there that I'm running across are surprised to hear that you can actually go out and purchase a home with a HECM mortgage. And what that allows you to do is go in with approximately half the money that you would on a purchase. Say you're doing a $400,000 house, you can walk in with approximately $200,000, put that down, and never have a payment again. Mortgage payment, that is. Of course, you're always going to pay taxes, homeowner's insurance, even if you buy it for cash. But that gives you an option to, instead of paying $400,000, you put $200,000. You got $200,000 in the bank, for things that have come up instead of blowing the whole wad and ended up house poor. Another thing that surprises a lot of people that I speak to is that you can actually convert the equity of your home into a living income. It's called the 10-year option, and we can actually set this up so that we take your equity and actually send you payments in the either to your bank or in the mailbox every single month. Now, what I've been using that for, a very, very intelligent strategy, is the people that want to retire. They want to retire at 62 or maybe 65, but they like to pay off at 70. So what do? What you can do is cash in your equity, get yourself a monthly stip coming to you from the lender to take care of that patch. Wait till you're 70 and then apply and get the big payoff.
I wanted to ask a question because I'm really fascinated by a couple of the points you made. Number one is a lot of seniors, as they age, the house is really too big for them to be in. And what's worse is that if it's got stairs and bedrooms are upstairs and what have you, and then along comes a ranch where it's all on one floor. And I understand if you really do some research, and I'll be glad to assist in the process, there are homes that have already been rehabbed for seniors. In other words, they already have grab bars and walk-in and showers and what have you. But the person may have passed on or wanted to sell it. So you're telling me that if I am 62 or over and I want to buy that home, I can still maintain the money from the reverse mortgage and continue to move and buy the other home. Is that correct? Walk me through that.
Yes. Yes, you take, like I say, it's instead of doing a refinance, which basically most of the HECMs are refinances, but they don't have to be. I can go out and buy it just like I would any other mortgage. Big difference being that instead of me putting money down and then having to make a payment every single month, for 30 years, I put the money down and stop making payments. Of course, you always have an option to make payments. You can make, the HECM is actually an option payment mortgage, so there's no rule that says you can never make a payment, but you always have that option. And a lot of folks just run it out. They go in, they buy it, never make a payment again, and other than, again, property taxes, house insurance, of course, those are on you, just like it would be a cash sale. So it's almost like getting a cash sale with half as much money.
I've heard some really creative things that you can do with a reverse mortgage, and I would appreciate your confirming that, and that is that if you have a reverse mortgage and comes winter time, like we're fortunate some days to be nicer than others, but let's face it, if you can get down to Florida and you want to stay down there for a while, you can actually use the money from a reverse mortgage to rent a condo down there for whatever period of time that you'd like. walk me through that. Let's say I want to go to Florida during the winter months, and I have a reverse mortgage. How does that work?
Well, there's a couple options that you would have. If you have a reverse mortgage and you want to hold on to that house that you have in Michigan, and you have, the rules go like this. They say it has to be your principal residence. Well, basically, a principal residence is where you spend most of your time. So if you want to run down to Florida 5 months out of the year, that does not make your Michigan home. Your Michigan home is still your principal residence as long as you claim it. You know, you claim it in Michigan as your principal residence, and you're not running off forever, you know, you're still good. You can do the snowbird thing. Now, if you want to do that on a more permanent basis, then I would suggest that you sell the home in Michigan, take that money and actually do a reverse mortgage on a purchase in Florida. So you got a $400,000 house here, you sell it, instead of putting a $400,000 on the house in Florida, you walk in with $200,000. You make that purchase, put $200,000 in the bank to back you up with property, insurance, vacations, whatever you want to do with it, and make the purchase that way. So, in fact, not only can you live in another spot, as long as, like I say, as long as it's not permanent and you're snowbirding, but you can also, if you get sick, physically or mentally, you can actually be out of that home for up to 12 months without an issue. Or if you want to go on vacation, you want to go hit the road, do cross the country, or you want to go to Europe, all that does not disqualify you from qualifying for the reverse. But whatever home that you have that reverse mortgage on, you must establish as your principal residence. So that's the place that you're going to be at most of the time, and when you get down to vacation, that's where you end up back at.
Now, the stipulation is you have to be at least 62 years or older.
Right.
And if anyone is say, hey, this sounds like I'm worthwhile pursuing, if someone calls you, Burney, can you give them a guesstimate of what their home entitles them to as far as money?
Yeah. In fact, we have access to a few different home evaluation engine software that I often use. I'll sniff these things out for people so that we know that whatever numbers we're talking about are reasonable. We don't want to talk about pie-in-the-sky numbers and then the appraiser comes out and the whole party goes up in smoke. So that's something I do on a regular basis for anybody that's interested, just so that, we all have intelligent numbers to consider. Because if I give you a scenario of what it's going to look like for $400,000 and the appraiser says $300,000, our whole strategy is up in smoke, and we got to change all the numbers. So I try to keep that tight.
So
I do have the tools to make that happen. I'm not necessarily going to get it right on the button, but I'll get it close enough, for us to be able to talk intelligently with numbers that'll be fairly solid.
Right. Now, a question that comes to mind is that one of the things that may happen is that if you pass away, what happens to that home as far as your siblings are concerned? What obligation falls on them?
There is no obligation. Hopefully, in most cases, when people die, there is equity in the home, because after you get your loan, your home continues to evaluate just like it does now. Every especially in the last few years, we've been, home prices have really gone up, values have gone up. So those heirs will be entitled to that equity. They simply put the home on the market, they sell it, pay off the mortgage, same thing that they would do if they had any other mortgage. You pay off the mortgage balance, the rest of it goes to the heirs. Now, if you get in a situation where, for some reason, like I say, a market crash or some weird stuff, that rarely happens, but it's happened a couple of times throughout it. That heir can actually buy the house for 95% of the appraised value. So if they really wanted the house, it wouldn't matter what they owed. If appraiser came out and said the house was worth $400,000 and they owed $500,000, they could still make a purchase themselves on that home for 95% of the appraised value. So they have a couple of different options available to them, but in any case, they're not going to end up short. Everybody believes that the heirs are going to get stiff, but that's not actually the case. Mm-hmm. And in fact, most times when I have heirs involved, like my last meeting, I actually brought the son in to the meeting. So I try to get those folks involved so that when we're going over numbers and how it's going to work, that everybody understands, including those heirs.
Hmm. No, you don't charge for doing the evaluation, and
oh no.
So then, if someone wants more information, what number would you like to give out? I always like to give out my toll-free number, 888-489-8980. But if you don't mind giving out your number direct, in case people don't want to go through the toll-free number. What number?
Well, the direct number, the one that you can reach me no matter where I'm at, is 586-484-5058.
Repeat. What is the number?
586-484-5058.
Okay, so then you can answer a lot of the questions that usually come up, and you've got all these stars that come on TV hyping reverse mortgages, and the advantage of calling you, Burney, because I've talked to you off the air, is that somebody's paying those actors to do the pitch, so to speak. So there are fees that pop up that, since in all due respect, Burney, I love you and all, but you're not a superstar on TV. So you so you can afford to save people money in just finding out the information. And I certainly encourage people to give you a call, because like you brought out, you like to make it a family event where the siblings are involved in the decision process. You don't charge, and especially now with people living longer, heck, from what I understand even, that you can actually build up your equity. Is that right? I've heard. How does that work? Your line of credit?
Yeah, okay, so the line of credit, again, let's go back to the scenario. I got a $400,000 house. I'd be entitled to approximately $200,000 as a line of credit. Now, I don't actually have to spend that money. I don't have to walk out of closing with any money in my hand, or I can get a portion of that. So say I need $50,000, but I'm qualifying for $200,000, then the other $150,000 would go into a line of credit. You're not going to pay any interest on that thing unless and until you actually spend the money. So if you'd get a checkbook, and if something came up, you wanted to go buy a car or a boat, last guy I talked to, he wants to buy a boat, you can just write the check, and until that gets cashed, you're not paying any interest. But that line of credit is actually growing at whatever interest rate the actual loan's at. So the last one I quoted was just under 6, like 5.92. So if I had $150,000 in a line of credit, that would be growing at an annual rate of 5.92. And so he was quite impressed to see that in 17 years, that line of credit was going to be good for about $42,000 more than he started. So it's actually, that is growing. And truth is, if you have the longevity and you beat the odds and live long enough, you could actually end up borrowing more money than the house is worth. But again, since it's got the non-recourse, that would be the government's problem, not yours. So
well,
that's what makes them so unique. There's no other loan out there that has these features. It's just a one of a kind.
Wow. And if anyone is interested to get a very close to accurate figure, all they have to do is call Burney direct at 586-484-5058. And
I will throw in I'll throw in a hard copy of Reverse Mortgages Made Simple.
A free copy.
Put it in the mail to them.
Well, that's wonderful. All right, so nothing beats getting good information, and you can share it, and then give Burney a call, and if possible, I'll be more than happy to forward any calls that I get on my toll-free number, which is 888-489-8980. Burney, it's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you, and in fact, I may see you tonight. And if anyone's interested, Kirby's Restaurant on Square Lake Road and Woodward and Bloomfield Hills, we're going to be there. You're welcome to join us if you'd like to just schmooze, as they say. And Burney, it's been a pleasure. Have a great day. Right now, I'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back to wrap it up. Okay? Bye. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you'd like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruz Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. And nothing is worse than having people to talk and they can't hear, and it upsets the person that you're communicating with. I'm a very happy client of Cruz Hearing, and if you're interested, by all means follow up. And he's a very knowledgeable and fair-priced individual. Unfortunately, I don't have that much time left for this segment, but I do not want to leave without my favorite parting thought, which is, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show, Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. I am really excited about a new sponsor, and that is Memory Health. These are vitamin capsules that you take 3 a day, and it improves your memory. Memory Health has been proven to be scientifically helpful for early stages of Alzheimer's. In fact, it has been claimed that it can even forestall Alzheimer's. Dr. Joel Kahn made this statement: in my more than 30 years of practicing medicine, no other product has ever come close to truly supporting brain health like Memory Health. It's a safe, natural supplement. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980, 888-489-8980. Family run for over 88 years, Friends Hardware has remained family-owned and operated. Friends Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Friends Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Friends Hardware. And welcome. And I am really excited that if you're an entrepreneur, we've got a great opportunity to meet person to person tonight. We start at 6 o'clock in the evening at Kirby's Restaurant, which is very easy to find. It's in Bloomfield Hills on the northwest corner of Square Lake Road and Woodward. Bloomfield Hills is the area, and all you got to do is show up and pay for whatever you eat. We have a private area, and we're going to be really informed about some really top tips on entrepreneurship. You know, the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan is unique in that we are probably one of the oldest organizations, so to speak, or as I like to say, seasoned, because we've been meeting for close to a half a century. I'm very proud to have made all the connections. In fact, it's not made up. I've got it in writing and be glad to share it with you. If you call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, would love to help you on your journey to success. And what makes us unique is that we encourage people to help one another financially, so that if you get a referral from any other people that show up, or you offer some sort of a stipend, so that way they not only get the satisfaction of having helped you or have helped them, but they're also financially rewarded. We encourage it. We don't twist arms. So give us a call at 888-489-8080 if you wish to join us. And, if you're considering starting your own business or building your own business, there is really three areas that you should concentrate on. I like to call it the ABCs of being successful as an entrepreneur. Number one is you got to know the financial situation. So you need an accountant. You need an attorney to make it legal and all. And then you should have a bank or financial source. And most important is to be able to connect to people that can become your customers. And believe it or not, you're going to have to, because it's the truth. That's what we specialize with the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan. We have a website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com, that's being built, so to speak. So that's why I still like to give out the number, 888-489-8980. And I or one of our associates will give you an evaluation as to whether that's something you should get involved with. And as I mentioned, an accountant is critical. And I am so pleased to share the talents of my accountant, Harry Pevos and Associates, who actually will even, have evening appointments. And I've known him over probably 30 years, it seems. And he's handled all our financial needs. And I've recommended him to other people. And everybody is very, very impressed. He is a walking encyclopedia when it comes to knowing what the do's and don'ts are in your financial situation. And I'm so pleased that he's going to be calling in today, that I have a chance to talk to him. He's got a Master of Business in Taxation. He's had over 41 years of experience. And he's a tax specialist. And what's exciting is that actually, because although we've had a lot of trials and tribulations with the virus, one of the benefits, if you're an employer, that you might actually make some real serious money, is a ERC, which stands for Employee Retention Credit. And time is running out that you can actually get some serious money if you have a minimum of, I believe, 3 or 4 people. But Harry's going to straighten that all out. Hello, Harry Pevos.
Good morning, Ike.
Right, thanks so much for calling in. And what is the minimum number of employees?
Just one. If you had one employee, you can get the credit, and it's a wonderful credit. And I don't know why it was overlooked at the time when it was first available in 2020 and 2021. You can get up to $26,000 credit per employee, and it's tax-free. It's a tax credit, so there's no tax on this credit from the federal government.
Wow. So walk me through in shirt sleeve English. I'm an employer, and how many employees do I have to have in order?
Yeah, just one employee. I just did the credit for a company that had 2 employees. They they got a credit of $52,000 just for the 2 employees.
Wow. So in other words, if you just had 2 employees, and of course the paperwork is where the key is, and you assist any employer who's got at least 1 or 2 employees, that they get actual physical money. Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah, it takes the IRS a little time to process it, but you can get, as I said, you can get up to $26,000 per employee. It's for employers who had during the COVID crisis, who had employees from March 13th, 2020 through the third quarter of 2021.
So then, if anyone is interested for clarification, they can always call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. That's 888-489-8980. I hear it advertised on different stations that so many people could benefit if you're an employer to actually get cash after all the paperwork, and that's the sticky part. The paperwork.
Yeah, it's a lot of paperwork.
Right.
Yeah, it takes me an average of 2 hours per quarter to fill out the paperwork, and it's in effect it's for 6 quarters of 2020 and 2021 where they had this credit, and it's surprising that it was overlooked. But time is running out. You only have until June 30th. There's a 3-year limitation to get this credit, and it starts running out on June 30th. And I did one employer that was a restaurant in West Bloomfield, and nobody earned a lot of money, but they still got a tax credit of $143,000 for 2020 and 2021. And I'm about to do another company that has 60 employees, and they're probably going to get over $1 million from the federal government.
Wow.
And it's tax-free.
Wow. Now, they don't have to be a current client of yours. Anyone that's interested, you're willing to do the paperwork. And so if anyone is interested and calls a toll-free number, 888-489-8980, if you will leave a time that's convenient for a callback, Harry will get a hold of you. And if you have any difficulty at all, by all means, when you press 888-489-8980 and you press number 1, you can speak to me directly, and I can try to answer some of the initial questions you may have. As far as the actual procedure, can you walk me through how the credit works out? How do you get your money?
Okay. Well, you had to have employees in 2020 and 2021 during the COVID crisis, and you have to fill out amended payroll tax returns with the IRS, and you have to fill out amended 941s, which is the payroll tax return, and the credit is based on 50% of the first 10. In 2020, the credit is based on the first $10,000 that each employee earned during the period from March 13th through December 31st, 2020. But the credit gets even better in 2021. It's 70% of the first $10,000 that each employee made each quarter during the first 3 quarters of 2021. And as I said, it's a lot of paperwork because you have to figure out how much each employee earned during the period that the credit was in effect, and that is a lot of work. But as I said, the credit is well worth it because, as I said, you can get up to $26,000 per employee.
Right. Well, like you were saying, this one client was $120,000, and without getting too personal, how do you make money at this, Harry Pevos? How much do you charge?
Well, I charge for my time. That it takes, because as I said, it takes an average of about 2 hours per quarter to figure out the credit, and you can get most employers can get the credit for up to 6 quarters. So that's roughly about 12 hours, an average of about 12 hours worth of work. so that's how I get paid by the hour. And some companies are charging a commission, like they get a percentage, but I'm just, for most of my clients, I'm just charging by the hour. So I'm not getting as most of the companies that advertise in radio are getting a commission. You get a certain percentage of how much tax credit the company gets, but I'm just charging by the hour.
Well, do you mind sharing what people might expect?
Well, the company that got $143,000, my fees for doing the work was $1,000. So
wow.
For $1,000, they got $143,000.
Hello, I don't know anybody that's listening that if you're eligible for $120,000 and your exposure, and this is not some made up individual, you don't have to be a mathematical genius. Would you spend $1,000 and get 120? That's better than the lottery, and this is realistic. This is not phony baloney. So by all means,
I just need their federal payroll tax returns and the Michigan unemployment tax returns, for the most part, and that's all I need to figure out the credit.
Yes.
But as I said, it is time consuming because you have to, there's a limit for $10,000 either per year in 2020 or per quarter for 2021 for each employee. So I have to go through each employee and figure out the first $10,000 that each employee earned during the periods in question. And that does take some time.
Right. Well, I admire your patience to be able to spend that kind of time, and that's why if you're in business, it pays to have an accountant that's willing to do the necessary work, and you end up with the money. And for $1,000 in this particular case, you certainly should investigate it. And if someone is interested in talking to you, they call our toll-free number 888-489-8980, but they can try your number direct, and if they have any difficulty getting through, they can call our toll-free number. And what is your direct number that you'd like to give out?
My direct number is 248-890-2416.
Mm-hmm. So if you call 248-890-2416 and you don't get a response, give me a call and I will be glad to put you in touch with Harry. And in fact, tonight we're having a little mixer of a schmooze session with other entrepreneurs over at Kirby's Restaurant on Square Lake Road in Woodward in Bloomfield Hills, northwest corner. So give us a call, 888-489-8980, and we can get to know each other. And before I let you go, Harry, when someone calls you and gives you their situation to see if they should proceed, can you give them a realistic assessment as to whether this is something that's worth for them to follow up on?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, for just about anybody who had employees, it's well worth it, as I said, because it's $26,000 of tax-free money, and as the time's running out, again, you only have until as early as June 30th to claim the credit. So it's well worth anybody who qualifies.
Wow. Well, listen, as they say, timing is everything, and so make the special effort, and it's probably one of the best chances of getting some serious money, legitimately, I might add, is taking advantage of the employee retention credit. Harry, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I'll look forward to seeing you tonight. Right now, right now we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Don't you dare go away.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
Hi, Ike Engelbaum. One of my sponsors is Cofix Nasal Spray. You can spray the inside of your nose and almost have the same benefits as a mask. In fact, it's been so well proven that it's now on the market in drugstores. Cofix RX. Spray it in the nose. 45 seconds later, you have up to 8 hours like a shield inside your nose. It's been scientifically proven. I'm really excited about it. I use it anytime I go out in a huge crowd. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. 888-489-8980. And welcome. If you are interested in getting started in business or build your current business, we've got a whole team of entrepreneurs that will offer their initial services at no charge. You heard it, free, until we decide whether it's something that works for you. I get so many calls from people that want to start their own business and really find out that maybe they're not quite qualified for it, or they don't know the pitfalls. The worst thing in business, if you want to get started, is not know what you're getting yourself into. So if you are interested and serious about getting started in business, and you're not quite sure which way to go, we have a free one-page assessment of what your strengths and weaknesses are. I will personally meet with you. If not, one of my associates will. And one of the wonderful things that I've had since I started the Entrepreneurs Group over almost 50 years ago, is that we have over 20,000 contacts. And many of the people that came over the years have moved out in different parts of the world. I am not making this up, but we have connections of people over the years all over the world. So if you're looking to start a business out of state or out of the country, chances are pretty good that I've got a human being that I personally have met that is willing to help you. I'm willing to help you in the sense that our radio show covers a good part of southeast Michigan, and we have this program on 2 different stations, so we've got coverage not only here, but not only do you get a chance if you'd like to come on the air, we can discuss the details. We are very reasonable. In fact, because of the New Year rule that just came out, I still say Happy New Year to people, and hopefully you do, but I also add prosperous. If you'd like to come on the air and do a 10-minute interview with me, all I ask of you is give me a call at 888-489-8980, and we're having a short-term special. We normally would charge if you wanted to come on the air. We do an interview of basically getting a chance for you to do what your 60-second commercial might be. And then we ask you, what is it that you offer that's unique from other people in the business or the career you're considering? And do you have a follow-up with the customers? And do you offer some sort of a guarantee? We can discuss at any time as to how to get you on the air. And we're talking really a phenomenal opportunity. Normally we would charge like $250 for a 10-minute interview. For a limited time, you write this down. If you call 888-489-8980, I'll be glad to interview on the air for just $150. And that means you cover all of Southeast Michigan. It's also recorded and put on YouTube, and the station actually now is involved on being on the internet. So you will reach almost the whole world. All you gotta do is call 888-489-8980, and I'll be glad to give you the details. And you can do it by phone, or if you'd like to come to studio, which is in Southfield, we can work that out. But now, you don't have to do that. It's interesting how life has gone. It used to be that you were always running around trying to make sales calls and what have you, physically burning up not only the gas, and maybe the environmentalists might really appreciate it. That way we keep the environment clean. You can work right from your home, and we can help you in setting up your home office. And you know, the key in business is timing. And a lot of people kid themselves that although technology has its problems, no doubt, it has many, many more advantages. If you're interested seriously in starting your own business, give me a call. I spend quite a bit of time when I'm off the air and making connections with sources that can help you. For example, I work with SCORE, Senior Corps of Retired Executives, the Small Business Administration, the Michigan Small Business Association. And I have the opportunity also, and I encourage you strongly, if you're serious about wanting to really become wealthy in the world, you have to figure out a way that you can work for yourself, because that way, if you're self-employed, the world really is still available as an opportunity. You could become almost rich, or possibly almost famous, and possibly rich. Give me a call. Unfortunately, I've run out of time today, so I have to leave you with my favorite parting thought, which is if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500. This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.